Hello and welcome to this live codex review of the beautiful World Eaters. Michael, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. I thought I'd wear some red, just, out of solidarity for the codex. So I'm just gonna, there we go.
Keeping it corn.
Keep it corn.
Yeah, I had my cornflakes this morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, keeping it corn.
Yeah. Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I had a Weetabix.
It's not corn, is it?
No.
Anyway, massive thank you to Gamesworkshop for sending us this preview copy along with all of the preview miniatures.
Yes.
Now, we do have a slight apology that we've been in Vegas at the Las Vegas Open, and we haven't been able to paint an entire army during that time and present you with a live stream battle report. So that's why we're doing a live stream codex review.
Yes.
And this is a codex that is very close to my heart. So yes, I am very, very excited. So look, interested to find out what's going on here. Is there technical issues?
No technical issues. That was because we started a little bit late.
Ian James, can you not do that, please? You literally just give me a heart attack.
He's going to turn into Angron.
Yeah, can you just not do that, please, ever? Unless there's an actual technical problem, don't say there is one, all right? We were a couple of minutes late, but anyway. So, yeah, I'm excited about this. Chat, let us know if you are as well. What's something that you're looking forward to. I know Gamesworkshop have showed off a bit of a preview battle report. There's been some leaks, some rumors and all that kind of stuff, but I am here today to clear up all of that confusion and give you the kind of lowdown of, what's going to be good, what's bad, the indifferent. We're going to talk about some lists and we're going to ultimately then discuss, how we think they're going to perform on the tabletop and some really interesting builds. And as you know, here at Vanguard Tactics, what we try to do is help you get the most from your miniatures that you own and help you really become competitive with an army play style that you're going to really enjoy the most. Myself and Michael just did, really, really well at the Las Vegas Open with two lists close to our heart. Yep. Ones that we really, really enjoyed. They weren't the meta lists, were they?
Not at all.
Everyone said my list was absolutely terrible.
Nobody even know mine exists.
And we both went 5-1. Yeah. So it just shows that if us idiots can do it, you guys at home certainly can.
Absolutely.
So anyway, where do you want to start?
Well, I do want to say, if you have any questions, I'm sure they've got loads of questions, right? You've got loads of questions. Just throw in a super chat. Any amount is appreciated. Obviously, it really, really helps us set up, get in on a Saturday morning to give you this content, improve all our audio, and get rid of those technical issues. So any of that's appreciated. Super chat in any questions you have, and we'll come straight to them.
Also, what I've done is I've put a link into the description if you want to pre-order your codex from the Outpost, which are one of our sponsors. You can click on there, and then obviously once you've got that, you can check out all the miniatures as well. We're going to be going over all of them, but I thought I'd put the link straight into the World Eaters Codex for you, which should now be live to pre-order because it's now 10 o'clock.
All right. Okay. Well, let's get started.
Yep.
So the first thing I've got to ask you, Steve,
yeah,
is just for anybody that doesn't really know, who are the World Eaters?
The World Eaters, okay? The World Eaters are, basically a legion that are just misunderstood, really are. And they're a legion in which, if you want to know more about them, I think a fantastic book to read is called Betrayer.
Okay.
It's a Horus Heresy book and essentially talks about the struggles of a legion that is completely fractured from a leader, Angron, who has basically lost his marbles.
He's still looking for him.
Yeah, he really
That's why
is.
He's so angry.
And basically what he's got is these, it's called the nails.
Yeah.
And he used to be a slave, okay, on his homeworld planet before he was saved by the Emperor. And really it's this kind of constant feeling of anger and pain. And the only way to, relieve that is through bloodshed and basically adrenaline. And that is kind of why they've got this kind of thirst for battle, thirst for war. And he ended up becoming what is known as the Red Angel. Whether he was the real Red Angel, is left to be discussed. But the Betrayer book really talks about how Betrayer himself, Khan the Betrayer, tries to keep, as the captain of the World Eaters, and kind of Angron's kind of right-hand man, tries to keep the Legion together, tries to keep them focused in battle without kind of just going off in doing their own stupid things. And it's a really fantastic book. So if you do want to know more about the World Eaters as a Legion, definitely check that out. It's on Audible. That's how I've listened to it. And I think the relationship between Betrayer and then the Word Bearer's kind of demon prince, I forget his name now.
Torvel something.
Yeah.
Something.
Is fantastic. It's a really good relationship that they have. But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of them in a nutshell. They are, chaos. This is the first time ever they've actually had their own codex. Before, obviously, the Khorne Berserkers were a unit inside of the Chaos Marines codex, and they were kind of like a little supplement. They've had a White Dwarf supplement, but now they've been, they've got their own Primarch. He's back, Angron. He is very nasty. And then we've also got some really cool, exciting new units, such as these, which are the 8-bound. Sorry, they're not painted. Okay, this is my grey shame for now.
But okay, you've done one model, Steve.
I've painted one model.
He looks beautiful.
Yeah, we've done one test model. I don't know if we can even see him, but kind of a bit of a Khorne Berserker. Yeah. We're going to go for the classic red. Yeah.
I think that's a great choice.
But yeah, Ian James been a Temper for 10 months. Blood for the Blood God. Morning, chaps. How you doing, Ian? Yeah, so look, any questions whatsoever throughout this, please let us know. Okay, just drop them in the chat. We'll answer all your comments. I do want to say a quick shout out to an old friend of mine called Ed Grenz. I used to play him a lot when I used to live in Reading. Okay. And he was a massive World Eater fan. He's got like 5,000 points of it. And he played them when they had the Demonkin book, which is where you could run demons and Khorne together. Right. And they had a Blood Tithe system where you could summon things. Cool. Which does lead me on to a few of my other questions. All right. So why do you want to play World Eaters? You said it was close to your heart. Yeah. Is it because you're angry all the time? Yes. Cool. Well, a couple of reasons, really. Obviously, this was a book that I worked on, so I'm really proud of that. And, obviously a huge thanks to Gamesworkshop for kind of giving us those opportunities to contribute to the community in such a way. So that's really cool for me. It's like a kind of personal thing. Yeah. And then second of all, I loved the models. When I originally saw these models, I just thought the sculpts of them were absolutely incredible. Yeah. They really were kind of quite breathtaking as a Astartes model that I hadn't really kind of witnessed before. And, a huge shout out as well to Darren Lathan in the team for kind of bringing this out. The Angron model is beautiful. The Scott, I built that guy. I've built it, but left a wing off. Okay. And I'm painting. It's the only part assembly I'm doing is one wing and arm. Yeah. Just because they're quite close together. But aside from that, it's gone together so well, and I already know it's going to easily fit on after I've part painted it. So the kits are amazing. The fact that they're red, they're kind of like the evil version of Blood Angels. Yeah, they are. Yeah. And I think the new Khorne Berserker models, like the chain swords, the chain axes, just look real. Yeah. Downright dirty. Yeah. And I love combat armies, so that's for me. That's kind of what I'm really all about. Yeah, that's fantastic. And you mentioned actually previously that you were looking at taking them competitively, potentially this year. Yeah, So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you come up with. This will be one of my 3 armies that I play this year. For me, it's going to be Azarani, and then World Eaters, and then probably Blood Angels. Yeah. They're going to be the 3 that I'm going to focus on, unless we've got like a team event and you guys are like, Steve, we want you to play GSC. Well, that's going to be like just team events aside. These are going to be my 3 that I'm going to focus on for singles this year. Yeah. All right. Okay, so let's get into some of the nitty gritties then. Okay. So what is the army trait? What do you get for being a World Eater? So you basically get one key element for being a World Eater, and it's called Blood Tithe. Right. This is kind of like your super doctrine, as it were. Okay. All right. So essentially, Blood Tithe points, and they've got this really interesting interaction in the game in which you basically earn them, and by killing or being killed. And it's not often you get rewarded for being killed, but Khorne does not care where the blood flows. No. He does not care. So you are rewarded for any sort of bloodshed, basically. All right? So if every unit from your army is World Eaters, excluding Agents of Chaos and Unaligned, you gain the Blood Tithe, okay? Over the course of the battle, as described below. Each time a unit is destroyed, you gain a Blood Tithe point.
Cool.
Okay, so each time a unit is destroyed, you get a point, all right? At the end of each phase, if a character, monster, or vehicle were destroyed, that phase, you gain an additional one. And if they were Titanic, you'd get additional one as well. Okay. So let's say you lost 2 units in the shooting phase. That'd be 2 points.
Okay.
But if one of those units was a character and a monster, you'd get additional 2, and you'd get additional point for that.
Right. Okay.
And let's say you lost another one, which is a Titanic one, could get like 4, maybe 5 Blood Tithe points in a turn. Right, in a phase.
So it's 1 per unit.
1 per unit.
And then on top of that, if any of these particular categories.
Yeah, in character, monster, vehicle fall into the same bullet point. Okay.
So if you lost 2 rhinos, you'd only get 3 points, 1 for each rhino.
Yeah.
And 1 because vehicles were destroyed.
Correct.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah. And now you can then spend any of these Blood Tithe points at the end of any phase. Okay.
And when do you earn them? Is it at the end of a turn or end of a phase?
Well, it just says each time a unit is destroyed. So you'd gain it instantly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, wow. And then it's per phase is the categories?
Yes.
Cool, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right?
Yep.
So you could earn points in the movement phase. You know, if somebody had like some kind of movement, like bombers or whatever, you could, you know, if you lost the unit, you'd get a point. If you lost some units in regards to the psychic phase, that would be, some more points. Okay. So, you are restricted slightly based on the amount of units that are on the table.
Yeah.
And the amount of units that you have in your army. And that might be something that we look at in terms of your build, is how many units do you just want to sacrifice just for some Blood Tithe points to make the rest of the army really sing. Yeah. Now, you can spend these at the end of any phase, all right? And you can purchase as many as you wish during the battle, basically. But you can only purchase 1 per phase. That's the kind of restriction, all right? Now, basically, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different options to buy. Okay, and they start off at like 2 Blood Tithe points, and then they move all the way up to like 6 Blood Tithe points. Okay. So shall I run through those?
Yeah, all right.
Okay, so basically, for 2 Blood Tithe points, you can have a 5+ feel no pain against mortal wounds.
That's good.
Pretty good for 2 Blood Tithe points.
That's good, yeah.
For 4 Blood Tithe points, they're not in order here. They're just kind of randomly written. For 4 Blood Tithe points, you can increase your AP by 1 in combat. So extra AP.
Really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then you've got 3 Blood Tithe points, +1 to charge rolls.
Okay. Nice.
Pretty good. For 5 Blood Tithe points, a 6 to hit counts as an additional hit. So basically exploding 6s.
Okay. All right. That's spicy.
Yeah, like that. For 5 Blood Tithe points, you can get +1 to hit.
That's really good, yeah.
So you can hit on 2s, exploding 6s with additional AP if you wanted to spend 5, 10, 14 Blood Tithe points over the course of the game.
Okay, yeah.
For another 4 Blood Tithe points, you can get basically a 6+ feel no pain army wide.
Okay, nice against everything.
So 6+ against all damage, and then a 5+ against mortals. You could go for a little bit extra, resilience. Yeah. Then for 6 Blood Tithe points, you can have every 6 to hit automatically wounds. So your 6s can explode and they can auto wound as well. But those 6s that did explode wouldn't count as an auto wound. You'd still need to roll those wounds out.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And then finally, 6 Blood Tithe points will get you Angron back.
Okay.
Yes, you heard it. If Angron's dead, he will come back. All right?
Yeah. And how does he come back?
So he's placed a destroyed Angron model into basically Blasphemous Reserve, see Warp Strike, basically Deep Strike as we know it, with 8 wounds remaining. This model is no longer considered to be destroyed and can be set up again in your reinforcement step as if he had that Warp Strike ability.
Okay, cool. So you could use this at the end of any phase, like let's say he dies in combat.
Yeah.
You could use it, and then in the following turn he comes onto the field.
Yeah.
That's quite good. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. So again, the only issue with this is that he has a command ability.
Yeah.
He has a command phase ability, and obviously he wouldn't be able to trigger that because you kick off your command phase ability in the command phase, and he'd be coming back in the movement phase.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
He's still back.
He still gets to come back.
He still gets to come back.
Gets to come back.
And then obviously if you've got that +1 to charge, you'd only need a 8-inch charge from Deep Strike.
8.
that magical number for Khorne, because that is their special number. And as you can probably imagine, you can only have one Demon Prince per detachment.
Cool.
Obviously, with the Arcs of Omen, you can spend that CP to take another.
A nice trick for CSM players, just saying.
Yep. You can also, you can't have any more cultists than Butchers Astartes. In Butchers Astartes, keyword is...
Is that really the keyword they gave them?
Yes. They are butchers.
You got like Arcana Astartes is Thousand Sons.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is for the Putrid Astartes or whatever.
Yeah.
Butchers Astartes.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a Legion trait, right, for World Eaters. Do they keep the same one that the White Dwarf supplement has?
The Legion trait, yes. Now, there are two ways to play this.
Okay.
Okay, there are two basically different army types you can take. All right. Now, they are both the same. Okay, it's called Relentless Rage.
Right.
So their Legion trait is at the start of the fight phase, if this unit made a charge move, was charged or performed a heroic intervention, you get +1 strength and +1 attack. Okay?
Nice.
That's what you get.
Well, you said there's two different ways to play.
Yeah.
Do you want to briefly run us through those, and we can talk about Warlord traits and strats after we've looked at data sheets?
Yeah, now this book is very different to what you'd see before in any other codex. This is a very lean, light codex.
Yeah.
All right, so there's only 3 relics and 3 warlord traits, and there's only 8 stratagems.
Okay.
For one way to play.
Pretty lean. Yeah.
That's pretty lean, yeah. And then the other way to play, so imagine like the kind of Army of Renown we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
Imagine like a kind of different type of, there's some heavy restrictions on this way to play. And this one, the second restriction is all about Khorne demons and basically Angron.
Yeah.
So you can have a normal World Eaters army, that's the main way to play, or you can have what we call the Disciples of the Red Angel. All right, so if you love your demons, then this could be a cool way to run an army. And, you know, I've got a list for both of these.
Yeah, cool.
All right?
Awesome.
So what do you want me to cover first? Units,
right,
warlord traits, relics, where should we start?
I think everybody wants to know Angron.
Everyone wants to know Angron.
Everybody wants to, I mean, I don't know if they want to know Angron, but everybody wants to know about Angron.
Okay, so he's a Supreme Commander. He's got the Demon Primarch. He's a Warp Locus as well.
Ooh.
Okay, that Warp Locus keyword. It's really important to look at all the keywords. He can fly. He's a butcher. Now, his stat line, he moves 16 inches.
That's fast.
Yeah, he's pretty quick, yep. He's Strength 9, T7, 18 wounds, 12 attacks, 2-up save. Okay. And he's got a 4+ invulnerable save.
So he does have a 2-up save.
Yeah, but he's got no damage reduction. He doesn't half damage. He doesn't reduce damage by 1 in any way. Okay. And 18 wounds does mean he cannot be obscured. Is that correct?
18 wounds, can't be obscured.
So you can just shoot him. If you can see him, you can shoot him. All right. Now, his attack profile...
We do have a super chat from Aaron.
Okay.
Thank you so much. If you did have something you wanted to ask Aaron, just pop that in there.
Yeah.
Because you haven't put it on the super chat. But thank you so much. All the super chats really, really help.
They honestly, they really do.
If I book a call next Friday, can we discuss this codex? Yes, Aaron, we can.
Yeah.
Aaron's one of my students, and he wanted to do World Eaters after his Space Wolves. Absolutely, Aaron. You know where the link is. You can sort that out.
Yeah. I used to coach Aaron for his fitness and nutrition.
Brilliant.
So we've both been working with Aaron. Yeah. But what an absolute legend. I know.
Get the whole package with us.
I know he was super excited about that. Yeah. Ian James has asked a question. I know it wasn't a super chat, but I'm going to answer it anyway. How does Angron work with the generating Blood Tithe points when you want to bring him back? So again, like let's say you killed Angron.
Yeah.
Well, if you kill Angron, I get a Blood Tithe point because you killed a unit.
Yeah.
And then obviously, because he is a...
character.
He's a character.
Or monster.
I get another point. So I'd get 2 points. So it only really cost me...
Titanic?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I'd get 4 points.
Yeah.
It's only going to cost me 4 points because you're going to give me 2 for having him.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, he then comes back on the table, so I don't think you then lose another 2 points. See what I mean? Because he doesn't count as destroyed.
Oh, right. You don't just lose the points again.
Well, I can't imagine you would. That'd be a bit ridiculous, wouldn't it?
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, so you get 2 from him, and then you only have to put 4 in to get him back.
4 in, yeah.
Quite nice.
So his weapon profile is absolutely, bonkers.
All right.
Okay, so he's getting 12 attacks. But remember, he's a World Eater, so he'll get 13 attacks.
13 attacks, and with +1 strength.
Yeah, so he comes in at strength 10.
Okay.
+5, if you go for the slash option,
Right.
So he'll be strength on the charge. He's 13 attacks, strength 15, -4, D3 +3 damage. No special rules. You still get your runnable saves or whatever else.
Don't know whether an invulnerable is going to save you at that point.
Wound caps will.
Wound caps will.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a shame.
It is a shame, actually. It would have been
Yeah.
nice for him to ignore wound caps.
Yeah, I mean, it's Angron. There's a Bloodthirster that ignores wound caps with the relic.
Yeah.
Why can't Angron?
Because otherwise Abaddon just walks up to this guy and goes...
You're dead now. And then next turn, Angron turns up and charges him, and then dies again.
Yeah.
To Abaddon.
Yeah.
It takes 3 Angrons to kill 1 Abaddon. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so it would have been nice for him to ignore... Anyway, he doesn't.
Yeah.
And then he's got Bloodletting Sweep.
Okay.
So you roll 3 hit rolls instead.
Right.
So he goes up to
39
attacks, but -3, 1 damage.
Okay. It's still 39 attacks.
39 attacks.
And there's the potential of exploding 6s as well.
Yeah.
With Blood Tithe and stuff.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So like I say, he's got a 4-pin run. And he's got in the command phase, you can select a core unit or a character to reroll the hit roll.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also got a Wrathful Presence. So in the command phase, you select one of the following abilities.
Yeah.
Now, there's one of these I think is an absolute auto-include that I'm just going to pick, probably straight off the bat.
Okay.
All right? So one of them is you get an extra attack. It's pretty good.
Is that an aura of
An
extra
aura
attack?
of core units within
Core
6.
units, not character? So
No,
not
just
fixture?
core.
Just core, okay.
All right.
And somebody did ask, Exalted, which 8-bound are core, Exalted 8-bound are not core.
Correct.
Yes, so just be very careful with that.
Yeah.
The Exalted ones are not core,
They're not core.
but the normal ones are.
Yeah. So now this is interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's an aura. Core units get +1 attack. Now the next one is just while a friendly World Eaters unit is within 6, you reroll the hit roll of 1. So that gives himself reroll 1s. It would give your Land Raiders reroll 1s.
Is it melee only, or is it just any attack?
Oh, sorry, it is melee. Yeah, it is melee
Your
attack
Land Raider
only.
would reroll 1s to hit.
It would,
in
yeah.
melee.
In melee, yeah. But it was interesting because it's not core and it isn't, so it's anyone basically. But obviously melee only. And then finally, the last one, which I think is the best one, is an aura of 6 inches. You cannot fall back if you're within 6 of Angron. You just can't fall back. You can't do it no matter who or what you are. No, you're not falling back.
No falling back.
No, so strong.
It's very strong. And remember that no falling back overrides the get out of combat.
It
stratagem
overrides
as well.
anything.
Yeah.
You cannot do it.
You simply can't fall back.
No. Now, he must be a warlord.
Okay.
And he gets a warlord trait, which means he's the Red Angel. You lose objective secured whilst you're within 6 of this model.
So this is really weird.
Yeah.
His warlord trait is specific to him and it's on his data sheet.
Yes.
Unlike any other codex.
Unlike any other codex.
Nobody else can take his warlord trait.
Nope.
Only he has it and it's literally listed down there by his thing.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
It's cool. I like Angron. How many points are we looking at?
I believe he's 360.
Okay.
He's 360. That's how
Alright.
well I know
Okay,
this
so
codex.
A wound capped Bloodthirster
Yeah.
is more expensive, but rightly so.
Yeah.
It's wound capped, right? And
Yeah.
Angron doesn't seem that durable, but the fact you can keep bringing him back for basically 4 Blood Tithe points, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
He's a good force multiplier.
Yeah.
So that's obviously another fantastic thing. Yes, if you've got any questions, please throw them in. It'd be interesting to see like what he can actually kill.
Yeah, in a game. Because obviously the way we play can be a bit different in terms of like deliberately move blocking and using screening units.
Yeah. So it's enemy units lose obsec. Somebody asked in the chat, is it all or any? And it is
He just makes his guys so crazy they can't hold objectives.
Oh no. No. So
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Do you have to pay for his warlord trait? You still do.
Yeah.
Now this is a slight issue with the book.
Right.
A slight issue. You can only ever take 1 warlord trait.
Oh.
And 1 relic. Because there are no stratagems in here. In this book, Games Workshop, there are no stratagems in here to let you take additional warlord traits or relics.
Yeah.
Which may be the reason I wouldn't take him. Okay? Because there's another warlord trait in this book that is too good not to take.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, for me anyway, my play style, it's an auto-include.
All right. Well, obviously we've got a few units to look at because there's a lot of new units.
And because Angron has to be your warlord, he therefore has to have that warlord trait.
Yeah. So if you take him, you can't get access to anybody else's warlord trait.
Yeah.
All right. So let's jump on to the unit that I know you're talking about. I do want to talk about Khan.
The Betrayer.
Should we talk about him first?
Let's definitely talk about him.
Let's talk about Khan.
Yeah.
All right.
So I really like the fact
Khan!
that... So he's an absolute monster. He's 6 wounds. He's strength 6 base. 2 up save.
He's got 2 up save.
2 up save.
Nice.
Did you hear that? 2 up save.
He's got 2 up save.
2 up save. He's got a 4 up invuln. He gives reroll wound rolls of 1 within 6 core units. So not characters, core units.
Right. So he's kind of like a lieutenant to Angron's
captain.
Captain. That's quite cool.
So you can have captain and lieutenant within this,
That's nice, yeah.
these battle bros. He's the Betrayer. Now, this was something in which was different in the White Dwarf supplement that came out. Was basically that at the end of each movement phase, if he was within 3 inches of an enemy unit, if he was in 3 inches of a friendly unit, he would do D3 mortal wounds on a 2 up. And so it's great.
That's one way to get your Blood Tithe points.
That's one way to just destroy your army. But now it's changed, which is great. At the end of the fight phase, if there are any friendly units within 3, roll a D6 on a 1.
Okay.
That unit suffers 2 mortal wounds.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's only on a 1 now. So it might happen once per game. You do 2 mortal wounds to one of your own units.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you keep Khan the Betrayer and a Rhino for a while, then at least that's a few fight phases where he's not going to kill anything.
Yeah.
Because he's technically not on the battlefield.
Yeah.
So Khan needs his own battle bus, basically, in my opinion.
I think battle buses are probably a good idea for this army anyway.
Definitely need some battle buses, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's him. He gets his own warlord trait as well, basically. It's not amazing. I wouldn't take it because he's already getting 10 attacks on the charge. He's strength 7 because of +1 strength on the charge.
Yeah.
So he's 10 attack, strength 7, -4, flat 3 damage. Bit of a beast. And his warlord trait is if you're in combat with 6 or more enemy models, you get D3 extra attacks. I don't think you need it. No, because anything with 3 wounds or basically any
You're not really putting him into a unit that's got 6 models in it, are you? He's there to kill characters, vehicles, monsters,
maybe some aggressors,
titanic units of heavy infantry.
Yeah.
So I agree with you there. It's not.
You're not going to take no. Right, the next unit is called the Lord Invoke.
We need to know about this guy.
The Lord Invocatus?
Yes.
Now, this guy is the guy riding a Rhino, a Juggernaut.
Yep.
Okay, now when you get this kit, you can build it as a Chaos Lord on Juggernaut, or you can build it as the Lord Invocatus.
Okay.
You're absolutely building the Lord Invocatus, okay? I wouldn't even consider the other one. All right, this is him. He's painted red. We still need... There he is. I've done the base color of him, but when you do the rest of him... Okay, so let me talk you through this guy. He moves 12. He hits on 2s. He's strength 6, obviously +1. So it'll be strength 7 on the charge. T6, 8 wounds, 8 attacks on the charge, 2 up save. All right, he's got a 4 up invuln.
What's his weapon?
Now, before I get onto his weapon, his aura ability is called Leading the Charge. A World Eater's core unit within 6. Each time you make a normal move or advance, you add 2 to the characteristic. Really good, +2 move.
Yeah, as someone's just said, Lord auto-include us.
I like it.
You're not wrong.
He's straight in the basket.
Yes.
He's also got a demon keyword, and he can fly.
Sorry.
He can fly. Fly.
Yeah.
He's got a flying Juggernaut, everybody. There is a flying Juggernaut in the room. Look at it. It's got wings. Maybe it does a really big gust of wind comes out the back or something and just, propels it forward.
Okay, I won't pretend to understand that, but we'll move on.
Hey, don't ruin my immersion. It's just like bounding along, okay? All right.
Does the other Juggernaut, does the Lord on Juggernaut fly?
No. It's not special. Do you know Khan the Betrayer flies as well?
No.
Nearly had you.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll have to check then.
Right, so he flies. Now, he's got the +2 move, which is really cool. 4 up invuln. Now, this is the reason why you take him. I'll go over his sword first, but this isn't the reason you take him. Now, it's called the Coward's Bane. So it'll be strength 7 -3, 2 damage. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, invulnerable saves cannot be made. No invulnerable saves when you fight with the Invocatus.
Okay, this guy is a pretty good character hunter.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
I did not realise he could fly.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get over that.
So that's why you listen to our reviews, because I don't miss anything.
Yeah.
Okay? All right? I look at the data sheets, I look at every word, and you got to see these little cheeky combos, yeah?
Yeah.
This is the difference between the leaks and the real review, which you're getting right now. Anyway, so I'm having a great time. So the Warlord trait, and this is why you take him, okay, it's called the Road to the 8 Bloody Steps. All right? At the start of the first battle round, so that is stage 13, by the way, in the Arcs of Omen, getting prepared for a battle, yeah? Happens then. Yeah. Before the first turn begins, you select up to 2 friendly World Eater core units within 9 of this Warlord. This unit, so the Lord Invocatus himself, and the selected units can make a normal move. Now remember, when you're within 6 of this gentleman, you also get +2. So your Terminators are moving 7 inches pre-game, because they're core. Or your 8-bound, which we're going to come on to next, which move, I think, 9 inches.
Sounds about right.
They move 9 inches. So they, with the +2, so they're moving up to 11 inches pre-game.
So they have an 11-inch pre-game move.
Yep, 2 units.
Yeah, okay.
And then you're on the run again. If you go first, you're on the run again, another 11 inches.
I do want to just double check. Do they fly?
No.
Okay.
Shame.
All right.
What? Workshop, what's going on? Why do they not have the fly keyword? Come on.
I don't get it. I don't get
Look
it.
at
I really don't get it.
Look at their strong legs. They can definitely fly.
Yeah, they just jump.
They're so big and beefy. Right. Anyway.
Okay. What's the Juggerlord like? What's the Lord on it? Anything special?
No.
Doesn't even fly.
Doesn't fly. He's got a 3-up save, so not a 2-up.
Okay.
He's
cool weapon or anything?
Oh, he's so the Juggernaut also fights, and the Juggernaut basically gives you 3 extra attacks at -2, 1 damage.
Okay.
But he doesn't. His aura is basically the +2 move, but he doesn't give you reroll 1s to hit, which is a shame. I would have hoped the Lord would have had 2 auras on him, really.
Yeah.
To go reroll 1s to hit like a normal Lord, and then +2 being special, right?
Okay. I do have to ask, the Lord Invocatus, is he unique? Is he a named character? Do we know, or can you take multiples? Do we know?
I'm assuming it's unique. Where does it say if it's a unique character?
We'll have to have a look at that. It might be in the back of the book, because usually it's next to their Warlord traits, whether they're named characters or not. But obviously their Warlord traits are just under their thing, so I don't know. It's just not. We don't. Oh, yeah, here it is. Your army can only include.
Yes, at the top. Model, yeah, you can only include 1. Yeah,
just the one. Yeah. So if you wanted to spread out the +2 movement, I guess you could get the Lords on Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. So the World Eater's Demon Prince is in here.
Mm-hmm.
He's 7 attacks base, obviously +1 attack on the charge. So he's 8 attacks. He's strength. If you take the sword, you're gonna be strength 10 -3, flat 3 damage.
Yeah.
And that's your reroll 1s to hit. Okay. As you'd probably expect from a Demon Prince.
Cool.
Chuck some wings on him. I think he probably makes the list.
Yeah, I agree.
For me, my three HQs in my normal build, in my normal World Eaters army, I'm going to take Khan, Invocatus, and the Demon Prince with wings. That's kind of my 3 HQs I'm going to be rocking.
Yeah, cool.
The Master Executioner is in here. He's also a HQ slot. If you just need a little cheap guy to chuck a relic on or something, he could be the one just to add in.
Anything different about him?
No. He's same as normal. Rerolls the wound rolls against characters can heroically intervene 6 inches.
Okay. Does he fly?
No, he doesn't fly. No. Shame. Okay, we should cover corny bees.
Yeah, let's go over the corny bees.
Okay, now the corny bees are a really interesting unit because you can take 1 to 10, which isn't the interesting thing, but they've got something called Blood Surge.
Blood Surge. Okay.
Now, as you guys can probably imagine, they get 4 attacks base. They get +1 attack on the charge. They're strength 5 base.
Yeah.
So they're actually going up to strength 6, 5 attacks.
Nice.
The Berserker Chain Blade doesn't give you the extra attack, but what it does do is it's AP 2/1 damage. So you can obviously push that to AP 3. So you're basically equipped with a power sword for relatively speaking. Now, for 1 in 5, you can take some plasma pistols, but let's not worry about that. You can take, for every 5 models, you can take a Berserker Excavator.
Eviscerator.
Whatever. That's what I said. Same thing. It's plus 3 strength, so you go up to strength 9, minus 4/2 damage. Okay. Now, you absolutely give yourself an icon.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you about this. I'm going to tell you about Blood Surge first, then I'll talk about the icon. So Blood Surge. Each time an enemy unit is selected to shoot, if any of those attacks target this unit, after that enemy unit has been resolved, if any units from this unit were destroyed by those attacks, this unit can make a Blood Surge move. If it does so, any actions this unit is performing fails, then roll 1d6. Each model in this unit can be moved a distance in inches up to that result, but must finish this move as close to possible to the closest enemy unit. This unit cannot end its move within engagement range of enemy units other than the closest enemy unit. A unit cannot make a Blood Surge move in the same turn it disembarked from destroyed transport, loam, and or is already within engagement range of enemy units. So basically, if you shoot this unit, it's going to move at you to the closest enemy unit, d6 inches, and it can end in engagement range of that closest enemy unit. Now remember, as soon as you get into the fight phase of your opponent's turn, you will be fighting before they do. You won't be fighting first, but you will be fighting before they do, because it will count as an ongoing combat. You will not get your +1 attack, and you will not get your +1 strength, because you neither charged or were charged or heroically intervened.
I think that's a bit of a mistrick, personally, but
anyway,
it is what it is.
I don't like the fact that you can't come out of a transport and do it.
I think it might be too strong if you could. Wow. I think that's really, really good.
It's good, isn't it?
I think it's really good.
Yeah. But I think now with Armor of Contempt gone, if you're going to dedicate some firepower to killing a 5 or 10 man unit, you probably kill it anyway. But
you really have to make sure.
That's
the problem.
You have to absolutely make sure.
I feel like some of the shooting armies out there do not have the tools in combat once these guys go in.
Yeah.
So I love that ability.
Kyle said, "Is the Warp Bolter on the DP datasheet?" It is. You can take the little cheeky gun.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's heavy 3, strength 5, minus 2 damage, range 24.
Oh, awesome! I just don't remember it being in the kit when I made the Slaves of Darkness one, but it must have been in there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's cool.
I think you have to pay for it. No, you don't. It's free.
Oh, okay.
So he comes with a free.
May as well have a little gun.
I do like it. It's pretty cool. It takes me back in the in the day, to the old metal one. Okay, so now the icon. This is absolutely why you take it.
Okay.
Is because when you make that Blood Surge move, if you were performing any actions, it instantly is completed.
Okay, so what does that actually mean?
Right. So let's say you're playing on a mission.
Okay.
Where you've got to do an action. I'm thinking like the Scouring.
Okay.
Where you're doing an action on an objective and it's completed at the start of your next command phase.
Yes.
If you shoot this unit and you kill one model, it will then instantly activate and be completed.
And you can Blood Surge move.
And then you can Blood Surge move.
That's good.
So any actions that are basically taking more than one turn, to complete, rather, some are like end a turn, right? But with this unit, obviously, it's just instantly completed.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like it.
It's nice, isn't it?
Nice little cheeky...
Now, the other reason why you take an icon, and it does only cost you 5 points, is for a stratagem. It unlocks a stratagem potential for you.
Okay.
So I'll cover that now. This is in the normal way to play World Eaters. It's called Icon and Wrath. Use this stratagem in the charge phase when a World Eaters icon unit is selected to charge until the end of that phase. Each time you make a charge roll, you roll an additional d6 to discard the lowest. Okay? So that is only, to clarify, on the one way to play, like the World Eaters way to play, not the Red Angel way to play.
I do have to check. Do any of the other units in here get an icon?
No.
Okay, so it's just the core Berserkers that can really benefit from that.
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
Shame. You can't do it on Terminators.
It's a shame. It's also a shame that the 8-bound and stuff can't have icons. Yeah. Because I know Possessed in the Chaos Space Marine book can.
Yeah.
Which does actually lead us obviously nicely onto 8-bound.
Yes. They don't have the icon keyword.
Guys, if you've got any questions, super chatting really, really helps. Obviously, we'll try and answer a few anyway. Yeah. I think there's someone asked about your colour recipe for you guys.
Yeah, we'll do
like a short or something on that. Yeah, advance and charge is a question. I don't think there's an advance and charge.
There is not an advance and charge in this book.
Fair enough. I mean, there's got to be some limits to armies. It's like Blood Angels don't have an advance and charge.
Well, you say some limits. I just say missed opportunity
yeah.
wreck face.
Yeah, I mean he flies.
He does fly.
So
yeah.
That's
And you're moving 11 inches with your 8-bound.
Yeah.
Right. So let's get into 8-bound, shall we?
Let's get into 8-bound.
Okay.
Right.
So you can take units of 3 to 6. Why is it not 4 to 8? Why can't I have an 8-bound?
It's 2 to 5.
Sorry. Yeah, but you got to take a champion.
Oh, sorry, I'm being stupid. Yeah, so 3 to 6.
Don't worry, I'll let you off.
You can't take 8.
You can't take 8. I want 8-bounders.
Well, let's talk about their profile. Maybe that will shed some light on why.
Well, they move 9.
Okay.
Why is it not 8? Not that I'm, unhappy about the extra inch, because obviously we all want to be happy if we get an extra inch. But 8 would have just been cool.
It would have been cool.
Yeah. They hit on 3s.
Why don't they just hit on 8s?
Well, exactly. Yeah. Hit on 3s. Strength 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're strength 7 on the charge.
Okay, good.
They're T5, 3 wounds, 4 attacks base, so 5 attacks on the charge.
Okay,
Leadership 8, 3 up save. They've got a 5 up invulnerable save.
Okay.
They've got fearsome, so -1 leadership.
Cool.
And if you're in strategic reserve, you can be set up a battle round higher than it currently is. So that does mean that you can come on turn 1.
That's quite cool.
And obviously, strategic reserve is free. You're a demon. You're Heretic Astartes, Butcher. You're an 8-bound. You can't fly, unfortunately. Now, let's talk about their weapons. They've got 3 weapon options. Every model is equipped with 2 8-bound
Eviscerators.
That is eviscerators, everybody. Eviscerators. Have you got that? Now, you've equipped with 2 of those.
Cool.
Now, that means an 8-bound eviscerator is strength user -3, 2 damage. Okay. So strength 7 on the charge, -3, 2 damage. And when you fight, you make an additional attack with this weapon. You have 2 of these with this weapons. So therefore, you have 2 additional attacks.
Okay.
So you are 7 attacks on the charge.
All right. You guys are probably like 4 or 5 attacks. That's not great.
7 attacks.
Now, why isn't that 8?
Well, why isn't that 8? Okay.
Well, it is if you've got Angron and his bubble.
Yeah. So Angron is bubble or Scarbrand.
Yeah.
You go. That's true. If you go Scarbrand and Angron, then you're rocking in at a good strong 9 attacks a model.
Lot of attacks, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Then the 8-bound champion is equipped with the lacerators.
Okay.
Now, we had an argument about this, didn't we?
Yeah.
When we were building the kit. It doesn't tell you what the lacerators are.
No.
But basically, the lacerators, and this is what the champion has. Mm-hmm. Your +1 strength, so you go up to strength 8, -3, 3 damage. So you probably think this is a pretty beefy weapon, right? Mm. But it's not.
It's basically 2 butcher's knives. Chain versions of butcher's knives, which sounds entirely useless.
Because it says lacerators.
Yes.
And there's 2 of them.
2 of them.
Because you get this other weapon, which is, this one looks way cooler, which is just massive thing, which looks like the flat 3 damage, beefy. Yeah. That's probably, after we built these, the heavy chain glaive.
Yeah.
Right? But the heavy chain glaive is +1 strength, so strength 8 on the charge, -3, because the champion can swap out this weapon for it. So it's +1 strength, -3, but you make 2 hit rolls instead of 1.
And it's 1 damage.
Does
that thing look like it's 1 damage?
No.
Let's be real, guys.
So that's why I thought the doubles would be the double attacks. That would kind of be thematic sense, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, just write on your data sheet, I'm running these big things as lacerators because it looks well cool.
And if you're a keen chef and you do own a butcher's knife, just call it a lacerator from now on.
Yeah. So there we have it. That is them. So you've basically got 2, if you run a unit of 3, which you don't, you absolutely run a unit of 5. And by the way, you can put 8-bound in Land Raiders. I'm not going to cover Land Raiders. I'm not going to cover Hell Brutes and all the other stuff in the book that you can take.
Okay.
Because there's,
I will be asking a question about what you can't take.
Okay, cool.
And we can cover that afterwards.
Yeah. But you can, so you can put 8-bound in a Land Raider and they count as 2 models.
Okay.
All right.
They're core?
They're core, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Right. Now, Exalted 8-bound.
So these are actually the same kit.
Same kit.
But I think they're a bit more messed up.
They're kind of like possessed on more possessed stuff.
Yeah, I think one's got like a chainsaw coming out of his finger.
Yeah, basically every model is equipped with a 8-bound Eviscerator.
Yeah, so it's the same weapon as before, isn't it?
And an 8-bound chain fist.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now these guys hit on 2s instead of 3s. They got the same amount of attacks, and they get a 4-up invuln instead of a 5-up invuln.
That's good.
And they can deep strike, but they don't have core. Okay.
Okay.
Now they also got an aura ability of within 6, excluding vehicles, but this doesn't say anything about monsters. On a 4-up, you cannot fall back and you fail actions if you're within 6 of this unit. Okay. Now
on a 4-up, you fail actions.
Yeah, within 6 inches. Yeah.
Hold on. Is selected to fall back or perform an action. Okay, right. So if they choose to try and perform an action within 6 inches, on a 4-up, they fail it.
Yeah.
That's quite good.
So if you want to raise a banner within 6 and I roll a 4, there's a no. No
Stop
banner.
it.
No banner raised.
Do you want to do any other actions that might help your army?
Yeah.
No.
Let's talk wargaming. Dom has said, why is everything not 8? I agree, Dom. 8 attacks, strength 8, leadership 8, save
8.
No, we don't want an 8+ save. That would suck. Really, wouldn't it? Anyway, cool. So let's move on. Like we said, the champion can take another chain fist, and when you take dual chain fist, you get +1 damage because the chain fist is +3 strength. So your strength 10 with a chain fist. These guys, strength 10 -4 2 damage. But when you're equipped with 2, you increase the damage by 1. So the champion would be 6 attacks on the charge, strength 10 -4 3 damage, or you can swap it out for a heavy chain glaive, which we've already spoken about, which is the kind of double attack things. All right, cool. That's the exalted 8-bound, but you can only take them in units of 3, no more.
And no less.
All right, and they are 135 points for the unit, whereas the 8-bound are 40 points per model. Right. Quite expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, but they're pretty durable, even without Armor of Contempt.
Yeah. Mark Sipple, this is a great comment, 8 points. That's what they should be. Yeah, I'm definitely on board with 8 points. Yeah.
No.
Okay. So, you can take World Eater Terminators.
Right, okay.
Now, the Terminators, just to put it into perspective, they're exactly the same as what you would normally see on the Chaos Space Marine datasheet.
Right.
With one exception.
Okay.
They gain additional attack.
Oh, so they're 4 attacks each base.
4 attacks base. Yeah. Plus then the other attack.
Yeah.
You get on the charge.
Yeah.
Which is then 5 attacks.
5 attacks.
Yeah. And
plus the accursed weapon.
Yeah.
If they have it.
So 6 attacks.
6 attacks for a normal attack.
Yeah. And obviously one model can have 2 accursed weapons, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
And then obviously your +1 strength with the accursed weapon, then +1 strength from being a World Eater. So you're basically strength 6. Strength 6, AP 3, 1 damage with 6 attacks a model.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. They do come in at 35 points per model.
Yeah.
A little bit more expensive, I think.
Are they cheaper now than Chaos Space Marine?
Okay, you can't take the Black Rune.
No, you can't take the Black Rune. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
They still get malicious volleys. They get obviously, the other stuff you'd expect.
Yeah.
And then we've got Jackals, which is the other kind of cultist unit.
Okay.
Jackals you can take in units of up to 20, minimum 10. You can take an Icon. Yeah.
Okay. So can they get the deep strike charge?
Maybe.
Really wanted to spend CP on them.
Now, the Jackals are 3 attacks base.
Okay.
Now, you can take 1 Dishonored dude. This is like the beefy dude. He gets 3 attacks base. Now, he can be given a Skull Smasher. All right? Cool. Now, remember, you get +1 attack on the charge.
Yeah.
Now, the Skull Smasher...
Do they get the Legion trait? Or because they're cultists, do they not get it?
Well, I'm assuming so. It's just World Eaters on there.
Yeah, I don't remember reading excluding cultists.
No, I think they do get it.
Yeah, they are the only cultist unit in here.
Yeah.
So I would expect they probably get it.
Yeah. Where would it say?
It would be in the Legion, like the start, I guess. Like where the army is. Just double check this. Gain the Chosen of Khorne and the Mere Mortals ability. Right, the Mere Mortals is usually what talks about.
You cannot include more cultists than butchers, and that's it.
Okay, all right. And then it says something about gaining your Legion trait.
Stratagems, Warlord traits, relics.
Here it is. So, World Eaters units in World Eaters detachments in your army gain the Relentless Rage Legion trait.
Yep.
Nothing about excluding cultists. So
no, I think they get it.
Jackals get it. Yeah.
Yep. Cool. So you'll be... The only issue is you hit on 4s, But with the Skull Smasher, you and obviously they get Blood Tithe, so you could get them hitting on 3s with the +1 to hit. They're not coarse, you can't give them any form of rerolls. But yeah, you would basically be strength 5 with this Dishonored guy, and he gets 8 attacks at -2 damage.
Okay.
So he's kind of like a Mirror Sword equivalent of a Howling Banshee.
Right.
Not quite as good.
No.
But rather than hitting on, well, you could hit on 3s. That's equivocal.
Potentially, yeah.
You're not AP3, you're AP2, unless you went for the Blood Tithe points for extra AP. And you're getting 5 attacks, so you're getting 8 attacks, not 10 attacks. That's the only difference. But not bad for a 70-point unit.
I think that's pretty good.
And it costs 5 points for the Skull Smasher. I don't think you bother with the Mauler Chainblade because that goes on like the Jackal Pack Leader, and he becomes -1 to hit with that weapon. So you're hitting on 5, you don't bother. No. I don't think. I probably don't even bother with an Icon.
Do you think there's place for a 20-person unit? Because you can take a 20-man unit.
You could, and then you could take 2 Dishonored. I think that slaps quite hard, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe 150 points.
Yeah.
The models are okay. They don't, for like cultists, they don't look too bad.
Yeah, they remind me very much of Mad Max.
Yeah, they got a Mad Max vibe about them.
Very strong Mad Max vibe.
So anyway, that's them.
Okay, all right.
Now, the other units that you get access to are the Hellbrutes, Chaos Spawn, Land Raiders, Defilers, Predators of both types, the Forge Fiend, Mauler Fiends, Rhino, and the Helldrake, and of course the Khorne Lord of Skulls, which now looks interesting because of the new Arcs of Omen detachment and means he now gets the ability of being a World Eater in the same detachment. So he does start looking interesting.
Yeah, okay.
Do you want to look at him?
Yeah, let's talk about him.
Okay, so remember he's got that Warp Locust keyword.
He's got Warp Locust as well. Okay.
He's a demon, which is also important to know.
Yeah.
He explodes. He can, fall back and stuff.
Yeah.
When he shoots into combat, he can shoot blast weapons, and he gets +1 to hit when he shoots into combat. This guy does not care. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now his profile is He's got 4 things that change depending on how he brackets.
Right.
He's 30 wounds with a 2-up save and no invulnerable save.
Only T8.
Only T8.
I was expecting T9.
Yeah, no invulnerable save.
30 wounds is probably makes up for it.
Yeah. Now, he gets 6 attacks base, but as he brackets, he goes up to 8 attacks. Now, he will charge and get an extra attack. So
he gets a 5-up invuln. Because he's a demon.
Oh, because he's got a demon engine. Yeah.
Special rules.
The demon engine will give him a 5-up invuln,
right.
yeah.
And heals a wound every turn as well.
That's it, nice, yeah, because of the demon engine keyword. So he starts on 6 attacks, he goes up to 7, then he goes up to 8, depending on how he brackets. But even on the charge, he's 7 attacks, and if you went with the slash, you make 3 hit rolls, so he's getting 21 attacks in combat at strength 9 -3, 2 damage, or you can have 7 attacks at strength 16 -4, flat 6 damage. This guy slaps.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a running theme here with everything slapping in combat. Right, so there is a sad bit, because I know there's a fair few World Eaters players that used to use them. Vindicators are not in here.
No.
Vindicators are not available to the World Eaters anymore.
And you've obviously got lots of different gun options. Yeah. I personally think
it's a bit of a complicated model because it gets a gun on its hand and a gun in its chest.
Yes.
You need to check which ones can be replaced with which.
Yeah, so you're equipped with a Gorstrom cannon and Hades Gatling cannon and obviously the cleaver. And then, then it tells you which you can swap about. But the Hades Gatling cannon's pretty good. It's flat 12 shots at 48-inch range, which is probably what you need for screen clearing. Yeah. This army really does need to clear screen. So I would probably just stick with the basics, which are the Gorstrom cannon, which is 24-inch range, 3d3 shots, strength 9 -2, 3 damage, and then the Hades Gatling, which is flat 12, strength 8 -3, 2 damage. There is also a Icon cannon, which is d6 +3 at strength 7 -3, 2 blast, which would be good if... Oh no, you can swap that for your Gorstrom. So if you want just 2 guns at 48-inch range and just to clear chaff, this is probably the guy. Cool. And then you're putting out a minimum of 12 plus d6 +3. So it's quite a good amount of just lot of shots, yeah.
We've got a super chat, $8.88. Thank you, Disflux. Are the points on page 88? Or is the moment?
Yes, they are. They're on page 88 because they put Crusade after
Nice one, Games Workshop.
Yeah, Crusade is after in this book. I love
Kudos.
it. Yes.
Page 88.
It's a really easy book to navigate.
Yeah.
There's no psychic powers. There's no silly chants. There's literally 1 page of stratagems, 1 page of warlord traits and relics, and then you're into your data sheets.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Like, this is actually a great book and a fantastic starter army, I think, for people getting into 40k. Love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I think this book is really well done in that respect, yeah.
Okay, so there's a few other questions in terms of data sheets.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't have access to things like Chosen.
Nope.
Don't have access to bikes.
Nope.
Or Raptors.
Nope.
Or Warp Talons.
Nope.
It's literally just what we've pretty much mentioned.
What I've covered is what you get.
Cool. You can obviously access Forge World units.
Yep.
With the usual requirements.
Yeah, so you could have Leviathan Dreadnoughts, you could have Decimators, you could have the Drop Pod, which are all viable options, I think. You could have the Khitan.
Yes.
Khitan,
I've got one of those.
You've got one of those.
I've got one of those. I haven't painted it, so Steve, if you feel like running a Khitan, happy to.
I mean, I have given you a lot of guard stuff recently. We could do a little swapsies.
Yeah, all right. That sounds good. What was
Sick.
I gonna say?
Yeah, that's made my day, actually.
Yeah, I've got a Khitan.
I need a drop pod, though.
Yes. Important to say, the Forger stuff hasn't yet been updated to allow you to put exalted dudes in the drop pods and stuff. Because obviously they're not possessed, so they don't count as 2 for a drop pod, but they are infantry. So I guess as it stands, technically you could put 10 in the drop pod. Don't do it. Just play it nice. And
look, Michael, we play rules as written here, okay? All right, we don't do that intense stuff. Until the FAQ comes out, I'm abusing it, all right?
Yep. Reach the minimum required paint job and abuse it.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but there are some hot picks from Forge World, I think, that really work with the army.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at
the ways to play.
The ways to play. Yeah.
Okay. Now, there are no secondaries in this book.
No.
Do we have Arcs of Omen here?
We do, and I will grab it in a moment.
Right. We'll summon Arcs of Omen to talk about the secondaries in a moment. Now, okay, let's talk about this. So we've already spoke about the Legion trait. This is called the World Eater's way to, the World Eater's way to play. We've already covered the Legion trait. Now, relics. There are 3 relics. All right. So the first one is called the Helm of the Brazen Ire. Each time an attack is made against the bearer, subtract 1 from the wound roll.
Okay.
So I think this on a Demon Prince is pretty good.
Yeah.
Now remember old Invocatus, whatever. Yeah. He can't have a relic, unfortunately, and he's already got his own inbuilt Warlord trait.
He's a unique character.
Yep.
Right.
So -1 to wound would be pretty cool on him. Now the Berserker Glaive is the next relic, and with the Berserker Glaive, you're basically looking at you replace an Exalted Chainblade or Axe of Dismemberment. The Exalted Chainblade is what you get on the Lord on Rhino.
Right, okay.
And then the Axe of Dismemberment is what you get when you're a Master Executioner.
Yes.
Now, each time an attack is made with this weapon, an unmodified hit roll of a 6 counts as 2 additional hits. Okay. It's +2 strength, -3 flat 2 damage. But here's the thing. The Axe of Dismemberment is just better. Because every time you roll a 6 to hit with an Axe of Dismemberment, it does 2 mortal wounds and the attack sequence ends.
Yeah.
So this wouldn't get that because you're replacing the special rules from one axe and replacing it with this. Yep. So do not think, guys at home, that you get both special rules because this ability will surpass the other one.
He's left the other one at home.
Yes.
Right, he's taken this instead.
Don't take it, basically. Unless you're going to stick this on your Lord.
Yeah.
Him on a Lord is okay.
Not bad.
But I think the -1 to wound is probably more significant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then we got... I mean, it would be cool, actually, if you did take it and you had exploding 6s, so every 6 you rolled to hit would count as 3 additional hits.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty sick, wouldn't it? Now, the Talisman of Rage. In your command phase, you can select a core unit within 9. Every time you roll a hit roll of a 6, you automatically wound the target. That's all right for a relic.
That's all right, but there's a Blood Tithe that kind of does that.
There's a Blood Tithe that does that, but it does cost you 5 Blood Tithe points, remember?
That's true.
So this is quite nice to have this straight off the bat.
Yeah.
So then your Warlord traits, which unfortunately you're never going to take. Because you're either taking Angron or you're taking the Lord Invocatus.
Yeah.
So I could read these out, but...
Just run us through them. What do they, in general, what do they do?
No, the first one's amazing.
Okay.
It's called the Favoured of Khorne, and I wish I could take it.
Yeah.
Because in your command phase, if this Warlord's on the battlefield, you get 1 Blood Tithe point.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So that's 5 Blood Tithe points just for spending 1 CP on a Warlord trait, if you could do it, and just get 5 Blood Tithe points.
Yeah.
Over the course of the game.
Yeah.
You would absolutely spend 1 CP to give your entire army +1 to hit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you, in combat? And +1
absolutely.
AP.
Yeah.
Because I think that counts to about 5.
Yeah.
That's so good.
We've got some questions about the Khorne Demons and the Disciples of the Red Angel. We'll cover that when we get to it.
Yeah. So next up, you've got True Berserker. You half full damage with melee attacks. So you could be -1 to wound and half full damage. Could be a cool relic.
Yeah.
And then you've also got Battle Lust. You can Heraclean Intervene 5 inches and you gain fight first. There is no fight last in this book.
No.
They're not really a fighting last type of dudes. They're more of a
kill you,
just
be
kill
killed,
and
continue to kill things.
Yeah. They ain't got tricks. Okay, so we're into the stratagems. There are 8 of them.
Okay.
I've already covered one, which is the icon, where you get the extra D6 on the charge. Now remember, guys, if you use this, it is until the end of the phase. So therefore, if you had the +1 to charge, you could come in from Deep Strike.
Yeah.
You could need an 8 on the dice, roll 3 dice, discard the lowest, and if you failed it, CP re-roll it and try again with 3 dice, discard the lowest, because it's the end of the phase, all right?
Yeah.
So that's cool. The other one is Smoke Screen. So your Rhino, you could make it -1 to hit.
I think we both said that this is a bit of a shame that you get 8 stratagems.
And that's one of them.
This is one of them.
Yeah.
I understand why it's there, but
you don't need it.
Would have been cool to have something else.
Like take a Warlord trait.
Or like make Berserkers fly.
Yeah. Exactly. Anyway, let's go over the stratagems because they are insane.
Okay.
All right.
Hit me.
And remember, you are going to be starting with a lot of CPs because you cannot spend them on anything pre-game.
Yeah.
Apart from 2, maybe. A Warlord trait and a relic.
Probably 2. Yeah.
So, 2 CPs, Red Butchers. Terminators or 8 bound have +1 damage.
Okay. So you choose one of your units.
Yep. Have
and
plus
they
a
get
damage.
+1 damage. And is that to the end of the phase?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So your 8 bound go up to 3 damage and your lacerators go up to 4 damage. Your chain fist would be, if you're going to a vehicle, flat 4 damage.
Yeah, on your Terminators, yeah.
Yeah, and then all the other Terminators would be 2 damage. Yeah. So that's an incredible 2 CP stratagem.
Incredible strat.
Glory Dismemberment is 1 CP. Basically, it's in core or character units. Every time you make an attack, a wound roll of a 6 does a mortal wound in addition to normal damage. A maximum of 6 mortal wounds can only be inflicted when this stratagem is used.
That's good.
So you can't just like spaff mortal wounds into lots of different units.
Yeah.
It's just, or you could, but you'd only do like 3 and 3. You can only do 6 with this strat. Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
We got Skulls for the Skull Throne. This is a bit weird, but when you kill an enemy warlord by melee by a character, so it's quite situational.
Okay.
You've got to kill the enemy warlord in combat with one of your characters. For a CP, you get 2 additional Blood Tithe points. So that would net you 4 because they are a unit, a character, and additional 2. So that would get you 4 Blood Tithe points. And until the end of the battle, add 1 to advance and charge rolls made for that World Eater's character model. Yeah.
Okay.
Now you can select one or both of those types of things. So I don't think you take it.
You know what? Keep Smoke Screen. We'll ditch that one for something else. I think if it was any enemy character.
Yeah.
Then maybe.
Or, +1 advance and charge across your whole army.
Yeah.
For exactly. 2 CPs.
Or an aura. I mean, the requirements justify the entire army getting +1 to advance and charge.
Exactly, yeah.
Because that's hard to do.
Yeah. So situational.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Scorn of Sorcery. Use this stratagem in your opponent's psychic phase, after you've tested, a psychic test, and after any deny, if any, within 24 of a World Eater's unit, I can just spend a CP and deny it on a 4-up.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Yep.
Then next up, Blood Frenzy, Fight on Death. If I haven't already fought.
How many CPs is that?
1 if I'm a Berserker and 2 CPs if I'm not. So it's 1 CP if you're a troop unit. So Berserkers and Jackals fight on death for 1 CP. 8 bound will be, and Terminators will be fighting on death for 2 CPs.
So 10 Berserkers, 1 CP fight on death.
Yeah. Problem with that?
Only a little one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's called Your Unit Dead.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mind this one on this unit because I think it's kind of cool.
I mean, if there's a faction that should have it.
It should be.
And at least it's a strat. Only one unit's doing it, right?
Yeah.
So.
If any unit can do it in the game,
Then a Berserker unit, it should be able to do it.
Yeah, because they've got the nails, right?
They
nails. Do go down with a swing. In all the lore, that's what they do.
Yeah.
It makes a lot more sense than Creations of Bile.
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Or Harlequins.
Dom, you filthy meta chaser.
Yeah. So yeah, I totally agree. I think the Fight on Death makes sense for this army.
Then next up, it's called Aggressive Intervention. You can heroically intervene 6 inches with any of your units.
I mean, they're pretty angry.
Core.
Okay, cool.
Which is good because then you can, you shoot me, I blood surge a bit, whatever it's called, and then I get within 6 of you and I spend a CP and heroically intervene 6.
Okay.
Coming in!
Yeah, so it looks like there's a lot of...
as Jack would say...
management.
Send it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've already gone over the others. So, to wrap that up, +1 damage, mortal wounds on 6s, deny a psychic test, fart on death, and extra charge, heroically intervene, sack off the other 2. Cool. Yeah. So 6 you need to know about.
Yeah. So there's less stratagems overall. A lot less.
But they're good.
They're good.
They're good stratagems.
Gotten rid of a lot of the chaff.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
And you're always going to be interrupting combat for 2 CPs anyway.
Exactly.
So if you're not fighting on death, you're interrupting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to say that Seb, with his many hands, did grab us the Arx Omen, so thanks, Seb.
Cool.
So we can talk about the secondaries in a bit.
We absolutely can. So the next way to play is the Disciples of the Red Angel. Now, do bear in mind with Arx of Omen, you will be able to take a patrol detachment of Khorne demons up to a quarter of your army.
That's it, up to a quarter of your army, because if you don't take up just a quarter of your army as demons, you lose Blood Tithe, because you lose the Agents of Chaos bit on the Deep Chaos demons.
Okay.
So you want to take only up to 500 points of demons.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now, this restriction is the restrictions and benefits. Disciples of the Red Angel. We'll talk after we've done this we'll go over the secondaries, we'll go over my list that I've written.
Yep.
So you've got that yet to come. So you must include Angron, and he must be the Warlord.
I mean, it's named after him, so...
So that does mean you cannot take the Lord Invocatus' Warlord trait. Because when he is the Warlord, he has to have that Warlord trait based on the Arx of Omen stratagem. Yeah. Which is a bit of a shame. So you're no pre-game moving, you're 8 bound. Your army can only include Khorne Demon units and World Eaters Chaos Land Raider units. Okay?
Okay.
So you can take Lord of Skulls because it's got the demon keyword.
Yeah.
You can take any of the demon engines. You can take any of the 8 bound and Exalted 8 bound.
Right.
You can take Lord Invocatus because he's also got a demon keyword.
Okay. And you're allowed to take Chaos Demons because if they're core ones.
Yeah. Well, you can't take any others anyway. But yeah. Okay. Now, 8 bound units, so that would include your Exalted and your normal, gain objective secured. Pretty good. Now, when you think about this, actually, I'll stop talking because I'll cover that later. Yeah. Right. Relics. Burning Plate, +1 save and +1 wound.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soul Burner. Basically, it's an Infernal Cannon. It's replaces your Infernal Cannon, so this could go on your Demon Prince, right?
Right, okay.
Range 12, Assault 2d6, Strength 7, -2, 1 damage, and it's basically a Flamer.
Okay.
All right. Or the Skull of Agnorant, whatever. You absolutely take this. In your command phase, select enemy unit that's visible to the bearer until the start of your next command phase. In combat, you reroll the wound roll. You just take that.
In each command phase, you pick a different unit.
Yep. Whew. Reroll wounds against that one.
Absolutely.
And then you send it.
Yeah, and then you send it,
Right, now, demonic infusions, because there's no Warlord traits here.
Not core locked, is it? Or is it just your boy, the bearer? Oh, it's the bearer.
Sorry, the bearer, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Select them in a unit, you can reroll.
That's still really good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you absolutely take that. Now, then you've got the demonic infusions, okay? So, demonic infusions, when you're mustering your army, you can select one World Eaters 8 bound unit, and you can select one of the following demonic infusions. Now, this doesn't cost you any CPs or anything. Okay. Now, you've then got Drawn to Power. You count as 2 models for objective secured.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
The next one is every time in a melee attack of a modified wound roll of a 6 does a mortal wound. Okay. A unit can never suffer a maximum of 6 per phase. Now, this does mean that with this ability, you could charge 2 units and do 6 mortal wounds to both.
Mortals to them both, yeah.
Okay. Brazen Skin.
But at least it's in combat.
It's in combat, yeah.
At least it's not, Kaskin.
Yeah. Brazen Skin. Each time a unit loses a wound as a result of a mortal wound on a 4-up, you ignore it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that just extra mortals is good.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all good.
They're all good.
It's a shame we can't take all 3, but anyway.
Yeah.
So the stratagems here, again, there is 8. 1 CP. I don't like this one.
Okay.
It's called... Because...
Is it fly?
No, it's not that good. In the fight phase, when you're selected to fight, select an enemy unit with an engagement range that is below half strength. Each time a model in that World Eaters unit makes an attack, get +1 to the wound roll. When do you need +1 to wound against a unit that's under its half strength? You've already obliterated it.
Look, man, if you had like Eric or that Howling Banshee Exarch left, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to absolutely...
You're wounding on
tear
2s
the
anyway.
shreds.
You're like strength 9. You need +1 to wound against like a toughness 8 or,
Yeah, I don't really see any situation you'd ever need that.
I wish this was called like Bring It Down or like a huge trophy or something.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
works against vehicles and monsters.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
But it's not. Anyway,
bit of a missed one there, but
bit
that's okay.
Bit of a miss one. I think it might be useful. No, because you win. Like every unit that is, if you think
that
about,
could possibly be brought down to below half strength.
is probably not toughness 5,
No.
and you're wounding on 2s anyway.
Yeah.
So you don't think you ever need it. So you can probably just cross this one out for now.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on. Blood Scent, 1 CP. Use this in your opponent's movement phase when enemy unit is within engagement range and decides to fall back. I can consolidate into you up to 6 inches.
Nice.
For 1 CP. That's
Nice.
a really good one. It's incredible with Harlequins. Brilliant here.
Yeah.
So if you do manage to get out of the 4-up, Exalted 8-bound,
Yeah.
I'm just coming in after you for a CP.
Very nice.
Brilliant.
Very nice.
Yeah. And remember, consolidation works. You move to the closest enemy model.
That's right.
You only have to end closer than you currently are. So that could mean you could go into multiple units.
Yeah.
And then you could stop them from falling back. Oh, but I think there's some really good combos right there with that.
I think some technical plays will be had with this one,
Furious Surge, okay. This is 1 CP. I really like this. In your opponent's shooting phase, after you finish making your attacks, select one enemy unit that had 1 or more models destroyed as a result of those attacks. That 8-bound unit can make a normal move. I'm moving 11 inches in your shooting phase.
Yes. So you see, here's the thing. Can you end in engagement range?
No.
Damn.
I know.
I was thinking because you could consolidate.
Yeah.
And then you could do this as well.
I know.
That's a shame.
But good though, isn't it?
It's still fantastic. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it would be great to tuck you in cover or something like that. I think there's some, or just set yourself up for a next turn
Is it just
charge.
a normal move? You don't have to move closer.
No, just a normal move.
Wow. Okay.
You could go backwards.
You could just leave.
You could just jump onto an objective.
Just leave.
Just jump onto an objective or something. Yeah, it'd be well annoying, wouldn't it?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. So then you've got diabolical machines, basically demon engine. For 2 CPs, if you're a Titanic, you can fight on full bracket.
That's good.
So that's great for your Lord of Skulls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or 1 CP if you're not. Yeah,
so if you did want to run Mauler Fiends, which I'm sure there's a play.
Yeah, or your Land Raider, you wanted to fire on full bracket or something, 1 CP, why not? Have a pop. Right, this one's also good. 1 CP, any World Eaters unit, okay, add D6 to the advance roll. So if you need to advance Angron up the table,
add 6.
You just add a flat 6 to the move characteristic instead of rolling. So now Angron's shifting 22 inches. And obviously then with his aura of... like if you couldn't make the charge for whatever reason, you thought I'll just advance him, or you had like a 1 wound left, and you're like, oh, okay, it's gonna be really annoying if I get overwatched or something, and you just need it for that keeping people in combat or turning off obsec. Just advance him 6 inches, get a shift on. Pretty cool.
Does it work on a vehicle?
Any unit, any World Eaters unit.
So even a Rhino.
Even a Rhino.
That's
even
spicy.
but you can't take rhinos in this army, so no. So you could have.
A Land Raider, though.
You could do a Land Raider. You can. Right. Violent Dismemberment. Okay.
Okay.
Pretty rubbish, I think. 1 CP in the fight phase. While enemy units within 6, subtract 2 from their leadership, and then subtract 1 from combat attrition. So you would be -3 leadership.
Yeah. Which is quite... I've found that be quite good with Night Lords.
Yeah.
But the combat attrition basically does nothing.
But are you spending a CP on it?
No.
If it comes up naturally, great.
Yeah.
Because your opponent could just spend 2 to auto pass it. They could just roll a 1.
Yeah.
Or you've already absolutely obliterated your unit. I mean, if my 8-bounding get in combat, mate, you ain't having any models left. I'm sorry, but you ain't having a chance of.
Absolutely not.
You're not having a chance.
No.
So unless you did I could see it working multi-assaulting.
Yeah,
putting one model into one unit and playing the strat because you've killed a model plus a couple more, so there'd be like -3 with additional -3, so then -6, forcing a 2 CP spend or potentially losing the unit.
Yeah.
Because combat attrition only works on a 1 and a 2. Yeah. So how many pages in the World Eaters Codex? There is 88.
88 pages.
Not including the very back page. Right. So it's okay.
It's okay.
I wouldn't use it though. I think I'd spend my CPs for the others. Right, 1 CP. In the charge phase, any of my units, you cannot overwatch and you cannot set to defend. And then you're also -1 from the hit roll. So that's a really good strat.
That's really good.
So when Angron goes in, you can't overwatch, you can't set to defend, and then you're -1 to hit. Now remember, if you can't set to defend and you're also a -1 to hit, you're technically making your opponent -2 to hit through this 1 CP stratagem.
Yeah.
Because normally they'd get +1 to hit because of setting to defend.
If they remember it.
Which nobody ever does.
No.
And then...
Unless you're a VT student.
Then you always remember it. Setting to defend. Anyway, so I think that's good for a CP. I really like that one.
I like that too.
Like credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
And then this one here is pretty cool as well. 1 CP in the charge phase, when you select the World Eaters unit to charge, you ignore any or all modifiers to the charge roll. So somebody comes along with a cheeky Tanglefoot. They're like, oh, Tanglefoot, you 6 inches. And you're like, cool, 1 CP, ignore.
Yeah.
Loser.
Yeah, nice.
So, yeah.
Cool.
That's all the strats.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you got any questions about how you can run any of these, obviously Forge World list is far more limited. Yeah. With that one, someone did mention Uraka the War Fiend, and I know you've got Kabanda somewhere. The only issues is the limit will be the points. That's the only limit here. Is you need to be under 500 points with your Khorne Demons. But I'm sure there's some sneaky tactics you can use.
You could cheat. So, because Angron's a Warp Locust.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to ask you, because I don't know the demons that well. If I was to take Scarbrand, can I drop him in within 6 inches of Angron because Angron's a Warp Locust?
Yes, and just 6 inches away from the enemy.
Oh my god, that's good.
It's pretty cool.
Because then Scarbrand comes in giving +1 attack to everyone. Yeah. And then Angron gives +1 attack to all of my World Eaters. Yeah. So that's a spicy meatball, isn't it?
That's pretty cool.
And then Scarbrand only needs a 6-inch charge? Wow.
Yeah.
There's got to be a list there.
I'm sure there's a list there.
Because we've got a Scarbrand.
We have a Scarbrand. You'll have to take a unit Blood Letters as well, but you're not really going to cry over that.
No, because they can sit on the backfield, because I need something to sit there.
They can also drop 6 inches away if you need them to. And they could do it from a Lord of Skulls or anything. They could even do it from Scarbrand in the future turn.
Is there any good demon stuff? Do I get any corny type? You
don't get any buffs really, and you can't really take any relics either because your Warlord is a World Eater. I wouldn't say there's you could take an Exalted ability, so you could have the Woundcap Bloodthirster.
Okay.
The only issue now is that you would lose Blood Tithe because you have to take a patrol, and the minimum troops choice is a Blood Letter unit. And then that guy, and combine them more than 500 points, I believe.
Right, okay.
I think it might just work out.
Okay.
But
so we'd have to look at the points.
You'd have to watch the points, yeah, because obviously it went up a lot.
But is Scarbrand still cheaper?
Scarbrand's still cheap enough.
So I think Scarbrand's the play.
I think so. Unit of Blood Letters. And if you weren't taking a Bloodthirster, I mean, you could take a Bloodthirster.
Yeah.
But if you weren't, then I think the Flesh Hounds aren't bad.
Yeah.
Because they're quite fast.
Because I've got Kabandon, and it'd be really cool to build and paint Kabandon and just use him as Scarbrand.
Yeah, agreed.
Because there's no rules for Kabandon, but Kabandon is the dude when it comes to, although Sanguinis would come down and kill both of them, spoiler alert. Anyway, so whatevs.
Oh, you do get the strats actually from the Khorne.
Okay,
the strats.
Cool.
There's a couple of good ones.
But you don't get the warp abilities?
You don't get the Warp Storm, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah. All right then. So, okay, cool. Should we go over some of the secondaries?
Yeah, let's talk secondaries.
Because now we'll know how it all plays, you see. Now we know what the
Yeah.
Blood Tithe points do, because there's some Blood Tithe point related stuff in here.
So I'll read some secondaries. You tell me what it means.
Okay. Story time with Michael.
Story time. With
Chat, I hope you're enjoying this. Let us know in the comments if you are. And if you found this to be a decent review of everything, yeah, please let us know.
Blood for the Blood Gods. This is in the Purge the Enemy section.
Yeah.
At the end of the battle round, provided no World Eaters units from your army have fallen back this battle round, score 2 victory points for each monster, character, or vehicle unit that was destroyed by melee attacks made by World Eaters models from your army this battle round. Score 1 VP for each other enemy unit destroyed by melee attacks this battle round.
Pretty good.
So to sum that up, kill things with melee attacks
I think I can do that.
and get points.
I definitely can do that.
Probably take.
So it's 2 points.
2 points if it's a monster, character, or vehicle.
Yeah.
1 point for anything else.
And it stacks.
Max of 4. So yeah, it stacks.
It's pretty good.
So it's 2 for each. So if you kill 2 rhinos, you get 4 victory points.
Yeah.
In melee.
That's pretty good. Legal Tia said, do World Eaters have Heretic Astartes? And can you run a Baden? You can.
Yeah.
You can put a Baden in, yeah.
You can't run him in the Red Angel Disciples.
No, because he doesn't
He's got demon.
No, it's not a demon keyword. Mandoli said, good in-depth review. Have a like. Thank you very much. We've only got 34 likes. Come on, let's pump those numbers up.
Pump those numbers up.
And if you don't mind, everybody, share this. If you think, your community, or maybe you're in a group or something, you think, hey guys, Vanguard Tactics did a really good review of the Codex. They had a good chat. Hopefully it was reasonably entertaining. Share it. It's really good for us to, increase and help reach more people. It really means a lot to us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. Yeah.
Subscribe, everything. No mercy, no respite.
Okay.
The Blood God's due. So you get 1 victory point for each objective mark on the battlefield that was drowned in blood.
Okay.
That turn.
Yeah.
And this is at the end of each player's turn.
Brilliant.
Okay. So for an objective marker to be drowned in blood, 1 or more units, excluding vehicles, that started that turn within range of that objective marker must have been destroyed that turn.
Okay, so if you kill some of my units, let's say I've got a unit of jackals on an objective, and you kill my unit of jackals on an objective, I get a point.
Yeah, point at the end of your enemy's turn.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when I run over and bash you on an objective, and I kill you,
you get a point in your turn.
I get a point in my turn.
That's really good.
Yeah. And then you come running over to kill me on an objective because I was on an objective that killed you on an objective. Now you kill me on an objective, but I fight on death on an objective, and we basically both kill each other. That's another 2 points for me in your turn. Yeah, I'm liking it. Yeah. I'm all over this.
Yes. I think. So yeah, just basically fight on the objectives. That one.
Yeah.
Get some points.
Because that's exactly where I want to be fighting, is on those objectives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we've got Battlefield Supremacy, Pile the Skulls.
Okay.
At the end of each battle round, before purchasing any Blessings of the Blood God, you can discard 1, 2, or 3 Blood Tithe points. If you do so, score 2 victory points for each Blood Tithe points discarded. To a maximum of 5 VP.
When can I discard them?
At the end of each battle round.
End of each battle round, I can discard some Blood Tithe points.
I think that's a tough one. Because in Battlefield Supremacy, you could go for things like behind enemy lines. Even engage on all fronts isn't that bad with the new the quarters bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, or you could
do
actions.
Because to think about it, you've got to get 15. You've got to accrue 15 points.
Which means spending 15. Wait, no. Spending...
15.
Spending... There's 2 for each Blood Tithe point.
2 victory points for each Blood Tithe point.
Yeah, so it's not actually that bad.
You get 2 victory points for each Blood Tithe point that you...
Yeah, that's right. So if you spend 5, you get 10 by the end of the game.
Yes. Right. But how many can you do per turn?
A maximum of 5 victory points per turn.
Now, so you'd have to discard 3 then, wouldn't you?
To get 5.
To get 6, but you'd cap at 5.
Yes, yeah. So you're probably better off discarding 2 for 4 and then doing that over a few turns to cap it, max it out.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're kind of wasting your tithe points.
Now, if you could take that Warlord trait where you got a Blood Tithe point every turn, then absolutely, yeah.
Good secondaries overall, though.
I think really good secondaries, yeah. I think there's some nice plays there. And it's nice to see that because obviously they don't get any psychic secondaries.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that their secondaries are slightly stronger because they don't have access to a warp ritual or a psychic interrogation or something.
Are there any main secondaries you think you'd look at with World Eaters? Well,
Well,
assassinate, I think, maybe.
Assassinate, maybe no prisoners.
He flies.
He absolutely flies. Behind enemy lines, you could banner.
Yeah, you could banner.
I wouldn't be R&Ding, but, bannering.
Yeah.
Behind enemy linesing. Killing, boring, all those types of... Anything kill related.
Yeah, anything kill related.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Dan has said, tuned in late on a fade, but being a new player, find this sort of thing very helpful. Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate it. We're going to have loads of members content as well coming out on World Eaters over the next couple of weeks. Overboard, and if you want to become a member, it's as little as $2.99. Overboard, does a Demon Prince work or leave it at home? No, I think you do. I think
I think the army's quite slow. Like most of it's quite slow. So I think having a flying Demon Prince really adds a little bit.
With a flying Lord Invocatus. And then you get reroll ones from the Demon Prince.
Yes.
Plus 2 move from Invocatus. And then reroll ones from Khan to wound. So it's a nice synergy there.
Exactly. If you're running these battle buses, then you're going to be lookout serve protecting both these fast characters. So I think that is probably a build you go for.
Yep. Yeah. Right, should we cover my list?
Let's go for a list.
Okay, cool. So my first list is basically exactly what we've just said. Mm-hmm. It's Khan the Betrayer.
Right.
It is Lord Invocatus with his Warlord trait.
Okay.
And then we've also got the Demon Prince. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then we've got Now, this is kind of where I was quite torn with the Khorne Berserker loadouts. Right. Because I'm definitely going to take 2 Rhinos. Mm-hmm. And I'm probably going to take a unit of 9 Khorne Berserkers. Mm-hmm. And then Khan the Betrayer to jump in one of those. Yeah. I haven't looked at the drop pod option. I don't know how many points a drop pod is.
115.
115. So it might be worth putting a drop pod in.
Yeah, probably.
A unit of 9, probably not Khan in there, so maybe a unit of 10, buffed up to the 9s in one of those. Yeah. And then I've got 2 units of 5 8-bound, a unit of Jackals, 2 Rhinos, and then the rest of the Khorne Berserkers I'd probably take then 4 units of 5 in... and obviously split them up into Rhino. So then you can either trade MSU style. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get a huge amount from the kind of when you get shot, you move. Yeah. Because obviously a unit of 5 is much easier than unit of 10. But I think that unit of 10 dropping down and killing something, turn 1, with the icon, hopefully with a rerollable 9-inch charge, you probably won't have enough Blood Tithe points to get the +1 on the charge, depending on how...
Probably not.
How that went. Yeah. But that being said, I think that's a really nice kind of strategy, and that comes in at around 2,000 points. Yeah. So, and I think you absolutely take the Eviscerator and the Icon in your Khorne Berserkers, but they are 22 points a model. Yeah. They are expensive. Yeah. And they're expensive now compared to Chaos Space Marines, in which have just got all their Legionary points for free. Yeah. All the upgrades for free, which is a bit of a shame. Because I think they kind of missed because of the release of this, they kind of missed the Arcs of Omen points update. Yeah. I feel like everything in this book might be 5% too many points. Yeah. Or 10% maybe.
I guess we'll see, but I think you're probably about right. Yeah. Just because everything's got to get there. Yeah. Obviously should say you can still take Khorne Berserkers in like Chaos Space Marine lists, and I'm definitely looking at it. Okay, nice. Because I think they're great. Yeah. They really offer you something that the rest of the army doesn't, and they get Blood Surge, which
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's pretty decent. Pretty cool. Now I've got another list. Mm-hmm. Now this is probably the list I am most excited to run. I think. Okay. But now we've been talking about Scarbrand, I think there could be some changes. I might have to find some wiggle room. Okay. So this is the Red Angels detachment. Right. I've got Angron, obviously, because you have to take him. I've got Invocatus. Yeah. Because I want the +2 move. Yes. And I also want him just to ignore invulnerable saves because I think that's clutch.
And fly.
Because you need fly. Then I've got 2 units of 5 8-bound. Okay. I've got a unit of 3 8-bound. Okay. And then I've got 3 units of 3 exalted 8-bound. And then I've got 2 Land Raiders. And that's 1,975 points. Powerful. Because then I can put here's the thing, right? So the 8-bound go in the Land Raiders. Yes. They disembark 3. Yeah. They move 11 inches because you get 9 + 2 from the Invocatus. Mm-hmm. So they're moving 14 inches out of the Land Raider. Yeah. Then they're charging. Yeah. So that's quite fast.
It's pretty,
They're guaranteed to make a turn 2 charge. Yeah. And you've got to break through a Land Raider chassis first. In the Land Raiders, if they kill stuff, we're going to just rack up some Blood Tithe points for you. because they're actually with their soul shatterers now.
Yeah.
They're all right.
They're all right. Yeah.
So they might get some kills for you to rack up some points. And if they die, then they're going to give you 2 Blood Tithe points as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good.
I like it. I think Land Raiders are still good at Chaos Space Marines. We've just got to see how the meta shakes out.
Here's a question.
Yeah. Oh, what's the question? He's checking something, guys. I'm afraid.
No.
No.
I was thinking... No. Whether you could... Let's say I was going to just look at the stratagem, to move.
Yeah.
I was thinking, if you shot my Land Raider, and if I rolled a 1 and one of my models died, whether I could make a normal move.
No.
You can't, because one of them wasn't destroyed by the result of... Oh, I mean, it is technically destroyed by a result of that attack, but we're pushing the rules as written there. It's certainly not rules as intended. Yeah. And as you know at VT, we absolutely try and win at all costs.
Yeah. The Land Raiders are still T9.
Yeah. I'm joking, by the way.
The main thing they have.
T9 2-up save, yeah.
T9 2-up save, yeah.
I think it'd be a cool list.
I agree. I think we should definitely put it on the table.
Because remember, now, all that's 6 units there, and it obviously does fit in the Arcs of Omen, it's all OBSEC. All those 8-bound are all OBSEC. And then you've got the Exalted 8-bound keeping people in combat, Angron keeping people in combat. If you do fall back, then I'm charging, I'm consolidating into you. If you shoot me, I'm moving.
Lots of attacks. Yeah.
It's just such a shame I couldn't spend another CP on 2 units to pre-game move.
Yeah. That would have made the list.
It would have made it so good. Anyway, I'm super excited about getting the World Eaters on the table.
I'm very excited to play against them because I think they're very cool.
The models are beautifully sculpted. They are absolutely incredible. They're beefy and chunky. Somebody asked for a size comparison. I mean, they're not that much taller because of the thing is the headpiece, right? Sorry, we need a close enough camera. But yeah, they are quite significantly bigger.
They're pretty big.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
They do look, they tower over a Terminator, put it that way.
Yeah.
The 8-bound, yeah. So any questions, chat, please fire them in. Otherwise, we will,
Yeah, we can wrap up.
We can wrap it up. But yeah, once again, Games Workshop, thanks so much.
Yeah.
Remember, do head over to the Outpost or pre-order your codex and, pre-order all the models. So I need to order, because we've got 3 boxes already of 8-bound. I need to order another 5 boxes of 8-bound.
Yeah.
And then I can run my 8-bound army, and I need to order 2 Land Raiders. And remember, you make sure you order the Invocatus, because that will go out of stock. Guaranteed. The Invocatus is probably out of stock already if you haven't gone so.
That's true.
So go and get your Invocatus model ASAP.
Khan's just asked a question with a super chat.
Okay, I'm just going to put the link to the Invocatus in the chat, because you need to order one of these right now, okay? Because this will be running out of stock. There we go. Go and click and buy that one. Go on. Yeah, question.
Right now. So Khan's just asked a question. Hey guys, thought I'd give some support from all the good work you do for the community. Thank you very, very much. Is it time I actually play World Eaters as I was born to do?
Yes.
Yes, Khan.
Yes.
Yes, it's time.
It is time.
The time has come.
Everybody's time. If you've thought about playing World Eaters, there's no time better.
Mm-hmm. And if you say that to your opponent, my name is actually Khan, then I think they should just
give you 3 Blood Tithe points.
Give you some Blood Tithe points. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Don't do any actual stuff.
We don't encourage that.
No.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Someone just said still only 25% power level for allied demons in Angron's detachment. Yes. So if you take more than 25% demons, you lose Agent of Chaos on the demons,
and you'll lose your Blood Tithe points.
You lose your Blood Tithe because that's your super doctrine stuff. So yeah, we have looked at that. It's really, really important.
Mm-hmm.
Leviathan got 25% cut. Voten, blah blah blah, and then Dreads. So Dreads, I think, are cool. For
Hellbrutes.
Hellbrutes are very cheap now.
Yeah,
so I think it's certainly worth looking at with
of
lots attacks.
They think how many points is a Hellbrute in the Chaos Space Marine Codex?
A Hellbrute in the Chaos Space is 105 now, all in. But you don't get any marks.
So this is 105 with the mark.
Yeah. So that's quite good.
But then I got to pay for my weapons.
Okay.
So my multi-melt was 5 points. My twin heavy bolt was 10.
So that's another bit of where you've kind of fallen foul of the Arcs of Omen points update.
Yeah. Which is a bit of a shame, really.
Yeah. I didn't get how to run 2 rhinos in a World Eater army. Well, so you don't take the Disciples of the Red Angel?
No.
Because you can't take rhinos in that.
You have to take it in a normal World Eaters army.
Yeah,
Okay, so you've got World Eaters, Red Angel, 2 different armies.
Mm-hmm.
So World Eaters get those 8 stratagems we spoke about, like the heroic intervening, the fart and deathing.
Yep.
And then the other ones, the Red Angels get the consolidating and the +1 to wound against under half strength units, which you never need.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Cool.
There we go.
All right. Well, should we wrap up?
I think we're going to wrap up.
Let's go play some games with these World Eaters.
Let's go and play some games with World Eaters. This is going to be awesome because it's like back in the day when you're like, right, this guy's this. We're going to play with some unpainted miniatures, and that's cool.
I'm sorry, mate. Those aren't the lacerators. That's the chain glaive.
Right, we're going to wrap this up before,
Before we start getting red and angry.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Right, anyway, chat, thanks so much. You've been awesome, as always. Sorry we've missed some live streams with you, but we have been incredibly busy at the LVO. We will be doing a full review of the LVO at some point, myself and Michael, as we said. We both did okay. The entire team did brilliantly, actually.
Yes.
We finished, Vanguard Tactics finished 2nd in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations to Art of War for, getting that first space spot.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I'm really pleased with 2nd.
Yeah, and I have to say, one of our scores is actually from a student.
Yeah.
Josh. So big shout out to Josh Birding.
Yeah, for sneaking in there.
5-1 at LVO. So,
brilliant.
Massive congrats.
Yeah, he came. He's been on 2 workshops.
Yeah.
And obviously one of our academy students. So great to see him.
Yeah.
You picked up an award.
I did. I got Best in Faction Deathwatch.
Congratulations.
Globally. So very happy with that.
That's pretty awesome.
I also finished 18th globally.
That's pretty good.
So I'm very, very, very proud of that as well.
I think I finished in 22nd.
I think so, yes.
So you pipped me to a few paces there, but congratulations.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I won Best Azarani.
Mm-hmm.
Not globally, just at the LVO.
At the LVO, yeah.
And
which is fantastic.
And I picked up another award as well, which I am immensely proud of. I got the Exemplar of the Community.
Yep.
Which is an award. I didn't even know about this award.
That's pretty much new, I think.
Yep. And basically for my contributions to the community for the last year. So I'm really super proud of that. Because running your own business can be incredibly difficult. I'm very critical of myself, so it's nice, I suppose, to be given an award like that to say, hey, Steve, the work you do is great. And obviously, massive thank you to you and Seb, who's behind the camera, and everybody else at VT, because you help spread my message, which is all about sportsmanship and fair play, and also the kind of emphasis on, physical and mental health that we try to promote as well. But I think, it's nice. We've done some great charity work over last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
We supported Movember.
Yeah.
We did the Pride stream.
Shout out to Nicole, of course, for her help as well.
Absolutely.
Pride stream was great.
And of course, Jake. So, But thanks so much, everybody. We had an awesome time. We are just about recovering from jet lag. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning right, come awake, better go to the gym or do something. But anyway, it's been a super busy one, but we're back to normal schedule as of next week. We'll be doing some battle reports. Hopefully, if I can get this army painted to a reasonable standard.
Yeah, just get it on the table.
I'll do a tabletop standard ready for Wednesday, I hope. So we can show you World Eaters Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Arcs of Omen time. And I've got Beachhead. You've got Beachhead as well coming up. A big super major here in the UK. Haven't got your ticket, make sure you go and get one because they're running out very fast. And then finally, we've got the team event at the end of the month as well. That's right. Which you, me, Ben, Jack, and Ramsey are going to be playing in. That's going to be our little team of 5. Playing in the international team.
Jake is coach, I believe.
Jake is going to be coach.
Coach.
He's going to be bringing his, just supporting, probably like a whistle and one of those clacker things, I can imagine.
Yes.
But yeah, we're really looking forward to that. And I'm considering if I can take World Eaters. I don't know. Can they be good? I'm not sure if they're going to be
hyper competitive.
Yeah. They'll be super cool to play and I'm going to love using them.
Yes.
And I'll definitely take them to some RTTs and stuff. But are they team level competitive? I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll find out. We could be pleasantly surprised or completely underwhelmed. But yeah, we honestly don't know. But anyway, thanks so much, chat. Michael, thanks for your review with me tonight. Today, even Seb. I don't know what day it is. Seb, great work behind the camera. Thank you, Games Workshop, for this. Thank you for the Outpost, for all of your support. Same for C Studios, Frontline Gaming, and all of our sponsors like Colourforge as well.
Yeah.
I need to get some Colourforge spray. That reminds me. And we'll see you Wednesday. So get him, order your stuff from the Outpost links below. See you Wednesday, 7 o'clock.
Bye.
Bye.